pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the pay, boy.
Yo, yo, yo! What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another podcast, post-game show, Arizona Cardinals versus Carolina Panthers Week 2. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys for being here. Up and foremost, do me a huge favor. Smack up the like button here on your way in today. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you guys went ahead and checked out the post-game reaction, thank you so very much. Today, we're doing the post-game show where I want to get you guys involved, right? I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from what you guys have to say about this win for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I don't want to get it twisted. Don't want to get it twisted one bit, ladies and gentlemen. A win's a win, and I will absolutely take it. And here's the thing. At one point, the Arizona Cardinals were dominating, as they should, against a Carolina Panthers team that we ended up seeing in week 1 and then in week 2. It's just, I don't know what is with this team. Not the Cardinals, but with the Panthers. The Panthers organization, for some reason, we cannot seem to beat them in a fashion where we can be comfortable. This would probably be the very first time in a very long time that we beat them in a very comfortable fashion. The Panthers always got our number. I don't know what the heck it is. I really don't understand it, but here we are, right? The Arizona Cardinals win, which, like I said, I'll take it. Obviously, right? We'll take a win. We're now advancing 2-0 on the season, and I would rather be 2-0 than 1-1, 110%. So I don't want to get it twisted. All I want to talk about is, should we be concerned, right? Because when it comes down to this game in a nutshell, the Cardinals were leading. We were absolutely dominating. And I mean dominating the Carolina Panthers. At one point, we had 27 points, and they were stuck with 9, right? Unfortunately, in the fourth quarter, there was 13 unanswered points by the Arizona Cardinals, and that's definitely something that I kind of want to talk about, right? I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the offense. I also want to talk about this defense, right? I'm excited about this defense. Now, injuries. Oh, my God. We are going to have to keep a very close eye on these injuries for the Arizona Cardinals. We went down 3 cornerbacks, starting cornerbacks for the Cardinals. Max Melton, Garrett Williams, Will Johnson. Now, Jonathan Gannon did come on, and he actually provided a little bit of an update. Kind of, right? Let's dive right into what Jonathan Gannon had to say. Just a small kind of, let's hear what he had to say.
Injury front, we've got a couple guys here. So LJ Collier had a knee, couldn't return. Max Melton had a knee, couldn't return. Garrett had a knee, couldn't return. And I think Will might have had a groin at the very end. He didn't return either. I just told them in there, I'm proud of them that they showed some resilience because the game was going the way we wanted it to, and then it turned quickly.
I'm just going to pause it right there. We will get to the next portion of what he had to say about that, because honestly, it takes a lot of, what's the word? He's a very specific type of coach, right? He's a player's coach. He's not going to throw people under the bus, right? And I'm not really expecting him to do that. We already know Jonathan Gannon and what he's already provided to the Arizona Cardinals in terms of this 3 years of tenure. But let's call it like it is. This team should have put away the Carolina Panthers. They should have put them away. Unfortunately, what is continuing to happen to the Arizona Cardinals in the past 2 weeks, or I guess past 1 week, right? Because we've only had 2 games so far. It's kind of the same thing, right? Where we're allowing these teams to stick around, whether it's the offense can't move the ball down the field, whether it's the Arizona Cardinals, can't score points in the second half and we just don't look that great, right? Whatever the situation might be, Jonathan Gannon will never come out and say it's anybody else's fault but his. He's the head coach. He oversees everything. And I do like that about them. I really do. I like that about Jonathan Gannon. Now, injuries, right? He ended up telling us that Will Johnson had a groin injury. Didn't return. Max Melton, as well as Garrett Williams. We're going to have to really pay attention to what's going to happen with the cornerbacks this coming week. We're going to make multiple videos about what happened. Are they going to be available for week 3? This is going to be a very interesting injury report. We haven't had one of these in a very long time. Thankfully, we've been very, very healthy, except for this game. So we're going to have to really keep our close eye on this. Now, we do got a couple super chats coming our way. Let me give some love over to Arizona 88. He says this, simple. We need a new quarterback, he says. We'll talk about Kyler Murray. I promise you. We'll talk about Kyler Murray. I'm going to be real here, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing new that I haven't said already about Kyler Murray that we're going to be discussing a little later on. The things that I've had issues with Kyler Murray is consistently still happening, right? The interception. But here's the thing. The way that Kyler Murray plays football is he provides you the glimpses of greatness. He provides you the glimpses of sucking you back in and saying, man, that's why I like this guy. That's why Kyler Murray could potentially be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. He brings these level of plays, whether it was the beautiful throw, seam route over to Michael Wilson, and it was a good catch and throw. Great throw, great catch. He made some really good throws over to Trey McBride. Another seam route over to Trey McBride. Trey's looking good. Unfortunately, no touchdown yet. And that crazy run where he should have got sacked and he made that defense look silly. Kyler Murray gives you these plays that you really want to believe in the idea that he can be that dude, right? The problem is 2 plays or 1 or 2 or 3 plays after he had that great, amazing run, he throws a very, very costly interception, which probably could have been as to why the Arizona Cardinals didn't really do so great in the fourth quarter. Momentum was taken away very, very quickly from the Arizona Cardinals. Very quickly. So let me get to Trash Boat Super Chat. We got a $5 donation coming our way. He says this. This 2-0 start doesn't matter, to be honest with you. We fell apart in both games and almost lost at the end. Put us against a better team and we will lose both. Woo! Well, this is what I want to talk about, right? Because although I am happy that we're 2-0, right? I don't want to get it twisted. I don't want people to think, oh man, he's so ungrateful. No, I'm happy. I'm happy. I really am. But for me to not sit here and use this platform to really talk about the problems that I feel like is plaguing this team, it would be a disservice. It would be a disservice to me and this platform, and for me to lie to you guys. That's not what I'm about. I've always prided myself to provide what I feel like, and it's based on my opinion. I can be very wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times, but it's based on my opinion of how I feel like this Arizona Cardinal team is doing, right? The hype is still there. I'm still excited about this team. I still think we can win a lot of games. It's just we need to clean up a lot of things. We need to clean up a lot of things. And unfortunately, what happened in week 1 translated in week 2. We had this team on the ropes. They were right there. They were right there in the corner. Jab, 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 haymaker, 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 jab, jab, jab. And then we slipped. And then we fell. And then they came back. And they had an opportunity, and momentum was on their side. A onside kick that usually doesn't work out for anybody worked out for them. Those refs were doing everything they can to make sure that team won. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? We allowed the game to be put in the hands of the referees. Multiple bogus calls. A roughing the passer when that wasn't even a roughing the passer. He literally got him the moment he got rid of the ball. What? It was just bullcrap calls all around. So we allowed that to happen. So just like my guy Trashboat in the chat is saying, you put us against another team, a good team, that won't go our way. You might be right. You might be right. Well, we're going to get our answer in week 3 and in week 4. Because guess what? We got back-to-back division games. One for San Fran with most likely Mac Jones. Most likely. I mean, it's not completely rolled out, but most likely Mac Jones. And then the Seattle Seahawks with Sam Darnold, which got to win in Pittsburgh. So you got to give kudos to where kudos is due. He got to win in Pittsburgh. So this is the question. should we be concerned? Should we be concerned about the Arizona Cardinals not putting away teams that they should, right? Now, I want to do another quick sharing on my screen here real quick because Jonathan Gannon provides some information over to us about what he feels was the deciding factor as to why we allowed this team to stick around, right? Stick around, essentially. Let's dive right into it.
But ultimately made enough plays to win the game there. I obviously have to do a much better job making our guys all three phases understand how to close games out, because that's 2 in a row now. We're not doing a good enough job. So
you're right. I'm so glad you addressed this, Jonathan. I'm so glad you addressed this. Thank you for not sugarcoating this, for not saying this is hunky dory. Everything is great, right? Everything is awesome. I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
That falls strictly on me. So I got a lot of work to do, and that's what we'll do tonight and tomorrow, because we got to do better there. When we have a chance to put away games, we got to put them away. It's hard to win in the NFL. Like I said, I don't want to take their joy away, and I'm glad we're 2-0, but we got a long way to go.
Long way to go. Year three, and we're still struggling with the stuff that we were struggling with. Now, here's the thing. The decision of playing these guys in preseason is always going to be something that we're going to be talking about, especially if we're in the beginning of the season and we're talking about rust, right? Why is this team consistently still rusty? Why? Are they not being fed by the crowd like they want to? This was our home opener. And I want to note something here real quick. I'm not sure if you guys follow me in my social medias. Now, this is no direct attack to anybody out there. I'm just pointing out how you guys feel, right? Because with what I'm seeing in the chat, this shows to me that a lot of people are not really bought into this team. They're not bought into the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this was a screenshot that I took when I was doing my live play-by-play. There was 2 minutes left. Panthers have the ball. No, this is before the onside kick. 2 minutes left, and look how empty these seats are. Look how empty these seats are here. Now, if you're going to say, well, Cardinals fans, they thought, right? The Cardinals fans, we thought we were going to win. We were destroying them. The game was over. Cardinals fans left. Well, check this out. This is in the first quarter when Josh Sweat got the sack. Look at all these empty spaces. Look at all those. This is second quarter with 1 minute left. Look at all these empty spaces here. What? They all went to go get nachos at the same time? They all went to go get nachos? Now, this is the visitor sideline, right? I want to be very clear. This is the visitor sideline. This is not the Cardinal sideline, right? You get a glimpse of the end cap, right? The end zone. That's the end zone for you right there. And this is the visitor side. Well, everybody got nachos at the same time with 1 minute left in the second quarter. That's when this screenshot was taken. So my question is, Cardinal fans, right, in the chat, are you not bought in? And like I said, I want to be very clear. This is not a direct, oh, you guys should spend your money on this team. No, heck no. No, you spend the money the way you want to spend your money. It's your money. The Cardinals, you don't owe the Cardinals nothing. Nothing. My main point as to why I put this on social media was I wanted to get a grasp. Do you guys believe? Do you guys believe in this team? It doesn't seem like the Valley is. Now, it's the Panthers, right? It's not like it's the Seahawks. It's not like it's the 49ers. It's the Panthers. So, looking at this is a home opener for the Arizona Cardinals. Are you bought in? Do you think that this team can actually do something, right? Well, these last 2 games, hearing what Jonathan Gannon had to say, I'm glad that everything's being addressed accordingly. I really am. But that is crazy to me. It's crazy. But like I said, it's your money. I didn't go either. Guess what? I had to work. I didn't go either. So this is no shame. It was just a question as, are you guys really bought in? Or is the Valley bought in? I don't think they are. But the Cardinals aren't really giving them much of a reason to feel like they're bought in. There's so much questions surrounding Kyler. There's so many questions surrounding the coaching staff, which not from me. I like the coaching staff, but I get the side of the coin that people are concerned about Jonathan Gannon. People hate Drew Petzing, right? I get it. It's just, it's interesting to me that was what happened, right? So, like I said, no shade. I didn't go either. So, I'm right there with you. I didn't go either. My question was more is the Valley actually bought in? And I don't think they're quite there yet. I don't think they're quite there yet. Got a couple super chats coming our way. Cigar Brother say Jonathan Gannon will not be back if the Cards fall apart later in the season. Well, to be honest with you, I was one of the guys out there that said that Jonathan Gannon should not be in the hot seat. That's what I said. But if this happens and it continues to happen all year long without an answer, there is going to be some people that are going to call for his head. Me? Probably not. But there is going to be people that are calling for his head. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. We can't seem to figure out Kyler Murray's woes. We can't seem to figure out Drew Petzing's woes. We can't seem to figure it out. Marvin Harrison Jr. 1 week can look like a number 1 wide receiver. Week 2, where was he? Where was he? Why aren't we having specific plays for your number 1 wide receiver? I don't get it. Now, Marvin Harrison Jr. had an opportunity to score a touchdown. That's on him. He should have brought that ball down. There was another opportunity where Kyler Murray threw a really good ball to him. Bounced right off his hand. It was in his midst. Didn't catch it. So that's on him. 100%. Marvin Harrison Jr., your number 1 wide receiver, had 2 receptions, 27 yards. That's not it. He had 2 receptions, 27 yards. That's not it. Now, I'm happy. Michael Wilson got a reception. Hell yeah. Let's go. Greg Dortch. Hell yeah. Let's go. Michael Wilson, 1 reception, 11 yards, touchdown. I know it was a good touchdown. Greg Dortch, 1 reception, 11 yards. Marvin, 2 receptions, 27 yards. Where's the fire? Where's the fire in this coaching staff to get this right? Where? Ain't coming from the media. I mean, there's some of them that ask really good questions. There's some of them. I guess I won't throw them all, right? But where's the fire? Where's the... How can we figure this out? Why is this happening consistently? Because it's not just 2025, the Arizona Cardinals have an issue with their wide receiver 1. No! How can we not get this fixed? I don't understand it. Drew Petzing, you got some splaining to do. Jonathan Gannon, you said it's all on you. Okay, I'll take that as a fan. That's cool. But fix it. We have 15 games left, which is a lot of time left. We're 2-0. I'll take it. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, I'll take this. The alternative is 1-1, and I'm so glad the Arizona Cardinals are 2-0. But you run into a team that's good, they will make you pay. You run into a team that's good, they will make you pay. Mace in the chat, he says, look what Gannon and Campbell said about the home crowd. In this specific clip, Mace? In this specific clip? Are you talking about in this specific clip, Mace? Because I don't see anything here. Like, well, I mean, are you saying that they were juiced? Well, I mean, okay, here we go. Okay, maybe clarify. Are you saying that they were juiced up? Well, yeah. I mean, there were still fans there. Yeah, I mean, nobody was saying that it was empty, right? Nobody was saying that it was empty, but that there was a lot of seats that were empty, right? No, there was the Cardinals fans. Like, I believe you're the one that kind of went back and forth with me on Twitter, right, Mace? The Cardinals sideline, or on the other side, that might have been packed. And that's why I wanted to put a disclaimer that the screenshots that you're seeing, the two that you're seeing, they are on the Panther sideline, right? So are you talking about when Calais said that the crowd was juiced, or that Jonathan Gannon said that the crowd got into it? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, perfect. Clip it for me. Thank you. Yeah. And if you can, send it to me on X. Yeah, if you can, send it to me on X. So, yeah, I mean, I mentioned it before. The screenshots that you're seeing, they're not coming from the Cardinals side. You can tell because you see Panthers blue. This is Panthers side, right? That's what you're seeing. So it could very well be that the Cardinals side was popping, right? Maybe in the lower bowl. It might have been popping. But this is a lot of empty seats still. It's a lot of empty seats still. Keep it with the chat here. Let me know when you clip it and put it on the X/Twitter. Michael in the chat says Kyler Murray was hit on the INT, but shouldn't have thrown it. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Well, he knows. Kyler Murray knows. Yeah, he knows. I mean, the media reporter, and I think it was Teo Mackey from AZ Central, he ended up asking him about the INT, right? And then Kyler Murray says, "What are you talking about? What do you mean? What INT? I didn't throw any INTs, right?" And then everybody laughs. And then the guy, Teo Mackey, was like, I don't get the joke. What? I don't get the joke. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm just going to pretend like it didn't happen." Okay, well, that's fine. But it's a good question to ask, though. Like, what were you doing? What were you thinking, right? He said he was trying to throw the ball away. That's what he said. "I'm trying to throw the ball away," he said. Okay. But, I mean, that wasn't a good throw. That wasn't, like, I get it, he was getting hit. But this is not like one of those things where it's just one-time occurrence, right? That's the problem, because I think we're getting it a little twisted. This is not a one-time occurrence. Oh, Kyler Murray made a boo-boo, right? Oh, it's a mistake. This is something that we've been seeing mistakes from Kyler for years, bleeding into last year, bleeding into the year before when he did come in the small sample size that he did, right? You pressure Kyler, he makes mistakes. That's probably what's being said out there, right? That's probably what's being said out there. So I got somebody sending something over to me on X and Twitter. Somebody sending some, and it's AZ Sports Fan. Shout out to you, X and Twitter. AZ Sports Fan sending something. He said, what did he say? Seemed to be more at the start of the game than the photo at the end. Maybe people who were not expecting the onside kick. I mean, if you zoom in, there's a lot of empty seats here still, guys. People are standing up. And also, please keep in mind, the seats are colored red. The seats are colored red. Please keep that in mind as well. Whether you want to agree or not, there was empty seats in the stadium. A lot. I wouldn't say it's empty. I wouldn't say it was empty, but there was a lot of empty seats. Got another super chat coming our way. Martin in the chat. Drew Petzing needs to go, and maybe Kyler. Well, I mean, Kyler's not going anywhere right now, right? We know that. He's QB1. We know that. Kyler Murray's not going anywhere right now. And he did enough to win this game, right? It's just not all on what can Kyler do to be better, right? This is not all, what can Drew Petzing do to be better? I need them all to be better in a unison. Unison, get together, team meeting, figure what the heck's going on. Where's Marv? Why is Michael Wilson only getting one reception a game? Where the heck was Zay Jones? Why is Greg Dortch only getting one reception a game? That's what you guys should be talking about. This is not a, oh, this is all on Kyler, right? This is not a, oh, this is all on Drew Petzing. Because I feel like everybody's got their hand in the cookie jar. Everybody does. And people don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. People don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. Everybody's got their hand in the cookie jar here. Marv, Kyler, Drew, O-line. What is going on with the O-line? Good Lord. That right-hand side of the ball. Terrible. Terrible. All right, let's get to these screenshots. I got you, Mace. Appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Let's go ahead and listen into what my guy Mace has to say. Let's start off with Jonathan Gannon.
We got nicked up a little bit. Truthfully, the home crowd got back into it, that was huge, and I thought our rush came alive there. And
I felt great out there. I felt the love from the crowd. That was awesome. Going down to the end zone and praying like I do, and seeing all those familiar faces and just people with my jersey and all the love I got. It was pretty surreal.
Sorry.
And then the way the game went, being able to make the play at the end of the game and have the crowd go wild. I mean, it's a really good feeling. Really good feeling.
We got nicked up a little bit.
All right. So I appreciate the clips. Thank you so very much. That doesn't tell me that the stadium was packed, though. It's just that the crowd got wild, right? That doesn't tell me that every single seat in the stadium was filled. Because when you told me that originally, I thought this was the clips you were talking about, right? When the crowd got into it. Yeah, well, of course, if I was there, I would get into it. I would be a part of said crowd, right? I would be a part of said crowd. But that doesn't mean that the stadium was full. I mean, does that make sense? Am I making sense here? They're not saying, yeah, every seat in the stadium was jam-packed. No, they were saying the crowd got into it. Well, guess what? Me and my 20 buddies were into it. Let's go. I don't care if it's 2 people, 5 people, 10 people cheering me on. They got into it. Well, good. That's how it should be. It's a football game. And same thing with Calais. Calais Campbell right now is feeling the nostalgia. Calais Campbell is feeling the nostalgia of being a Cardinal. God, I love this man. So hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense of what I'm trying to say. So you have a point. All that matters is if they hear it, right? That's all that matters. But you can tell. You can tell. John, what's up, man? Appreciate the super chat. Bryce Young looked way too comfortable back there as he was carving us up a new one. Defensive line still leaves a lot to be desired. Yeah, this is something I want to touch on here. The defensive line has not been very good in the pass rushing sense. And let me rephrase that. In the pass rushing sense, in terms of, can you get back there and actually cause a sack? Or are we just going to equate to pressures, right? Can we get back there and finish the job? The defensive line has not been great. Shout out to Calais Campbell, pushing 40 years old. He's got 2 sacks in the game. Josh Sweat with the sack fumble. Got to give some love there, right? But the other guys that we have on this defensive line, Darius Robinson, where are you? Where are you? So many photos were clipped of you next to Jonathan Gannon, you looking like the Terminator, and where are you? Where? Dalvin Tomlinson, you see him in a couple plays here and there. I think he actually blown up a play and had somebody get stopped in the backfield. I'll give kudos to that. But where's the consistent pressure of this defense that we were sold? Baron Browning had himself an INT. We got to give him love for that. In the first quarter, the defense turned the hell up. They did. They did a good job. It's just, where was this? I was sold. This defensive line was upgraded to be a dominant force. Well, maybe that's the way I interpreted it, right? Maybe that's the way I looked at it and said, okay, right? It's upgraded from last year, and that's the truth. But the defensive line, it's been a little frustrating. It's been a little frustrating, if I can be frank. Concerning. Like I said, in the pass rushing sense. Stopping the run, I think they did pretty solid, if I'm going to be real. Chuba Hubbard, 10 carries, 38 yards. That's pretty good. So in the sense of stopping the run, we're actually pretty solid. It's the pass rush, right? Because I feel like every person that's going to be looking at the film of the Arizona Cardinals defense, they just need to figure out, how can we throw the ball and get rid of the ball fast, out of our hand, quick, in order for them to not get us? Well, Bryce Young finished off this game 35 of 55. He threw the ball 55 times. He had 328 yards. 328 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 INT. He was carving up the Arizona Cardinals defense. Second half. In the second half. But I already kind of noticed the trend. Quick hooks, get the ball out of your hand quick. Quick reads, that's how you beat this defense. You don't allow that defensive line to make those plays. We've already seen Spencer Rattler and now Bryce Young in the second half really kind of come down to it and say, okay, well, that's how you beat the defense. Did Darius Robinson record a tackle today? Let me see. Oh, yeah. Hallelujah. Darius Robinson got himself a tackle today. Let's go. Let's go. Of course, I'm being facetious here. But yeah, 1 tackle. Thank you, D-Rob. I don't understand what's happening with Darius Robinson. I really don't. I want to understand what's happening with Darius. But it's just not. It's not clocking. It's not clocking to me. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's as big of a mystery as Petzing and Kyler in this offense. There's a lot of mysteries. A lot of mysteries. Javier in the chat says, not too hard on the defense. No, yeah, you're right. 100%. The defense did win us this game. It did win us this game. But just like last year, remember, I'm an equal opportunist when it comes down to criticism, right? Y'all remember last year? And everybody's like, well, how come you don't ever say anything about the defense? The defense had no players on that team. Who was all my criticism going to? The offense last year, right? Because they were supposed to be the bright spot. And now you flip it on its ear. Now the defense is supposed to be the bright spot. Although they won us this game, 110%, there are still things to work out. So you're right. I'm not being too hard on them. It's just, yeah, where's Darius? Where the heck are these guys? But for the most part, I've been more impressed with the defense than I have on the offense. Be real. But there's still some criticism to go around everywhere, right? Jumping off sides, Baron Browning, lack of sacks. Although there was 3 today, 2 from Calais, 1 from Sweat. We'll take that over 1, right? Any day of the week. They did win us the game. You were 110% correct. They 110% won us the game. Yep. But there's that, right? Eric in the chat says D-Rob's a bust. Ojulari's a bust. Walter Nolan falling the same plat. Let me see what Walter Nolan can do first. I'm not going to come out here and say either of these guys are busts yet. Unfortunately, BJ Ojulari can't stay healthy. You want to call him, maybe. Okay, whatever. D-Rob, I'm not going to call him in the bust category yet. There's still a full year. Keep in mind, we only saw him for 5 games or 6 games last year. That's it. It was very small sample size. So let's see what he does for the rest of the season. Walter, he got hurt. What is he supposed to do? I don't think they're busts. I really don't. It's just, I want better, right? I want better from them. Darius is a first-round pick. I want better. BJ Ojulari, stay healthy. You're a second-round pick. Be better when you come back. And then Walter, we still don't know what Walter's going to be. I'm hoping he's the next Messiah. I really do, because we need it. Because we need it. Braden in the chat says, any injuries on, or any updates on the injuries? Nothing yet. We're probably going to get something tomorrow. I did see something from Teo Mackey of AZ Central saying that they saw Max Melton come celebrate with his team, and he was in good spirits. So for what it's worth, Max Melton, I think, is the only one that I've seen that has some sort of kind of an update, but not really, because we don't really know what's happening internally, right? We don't know what's happening internally to these guys. All we know is that what people are saying on X and Twitter, right? But yeah, I did end up seeing Theo Mackey from AZ Central ended up saying that at the end of the game, Max Melton came out on the field in street clothes and a knee brace to celebrate with the win with teammates. Was walking around on the sideline in good spirits. But the update is that Gannon even doesn't know right now. Gannon doesn't know anything right now. Melton and Garrett Williams, both knee injuries. Will Johnson, groin. LJ Collier also was out of this game as well. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Garrett might be. I'm not gonna put that I'm not gonna put that juju out. I'm really not. It doesn't look good. I feel like out of all three of them, the worst might be Garrett. Out of all three of them, I think the worst might be Garrett Williams, if I'm going to be real with you. Unfortunately, didn't look good when he got hurt and he was being held by the trainers to walk off the field. He was probably the one that didn't look the best, if I'm going to be real. Will Johnson getting hurt? I could have sworn I saw him back on the field after the whole he got hurt with the Tedero McMillan. I could have sworn I saw him on the field. Maybe a couple plays. Maybe after that, he was like, okay, no, I can't go. That might be possible. But I could have sworn I saw him in a play or two after. Max Melton seems to be hopefully in good spirits. We'll see. We'll see. See, here we go. Martin did say Will Johnson came back on and played. Yeah, 100%. So I'm not the only one. I guess I'm not the only one. Yeah, so I'm not crazy. He did. He came in and played a little bit more snaps. Maybe after that, they decided to pull him out. That's possible. That's possible. But from the initial scare with him tackling Tedero McMillan, he did come back. And then he left. Per Jonathan Gannon. So we'll see. That's going to be something we're definitely going to be keeping our eyes on. Obviously, make sure you have your post notification bell on and subscribe if this is your first time here. We're on the road to 18K. 18K, ladies and gentlemen. Can't do it without you guys. So subscribe it up, smack the like button. Let me give some quick shout out here to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Sleeper. Make sure you check out Sleeper. The NFL season is officially here, which means you now have a chance to 100 times your cash on daily fantasy. Football has never been as exciting as it is now with players like CJ Stroud, Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, and Lamar Jackson. You can go ahead and pick up on stats on touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, fantasy points, and you can potentially 100 times your money. If you get them all right, you could get a pretty darn good payout. Make sure you use promo code AZSF to get this awesome promotion. Everything will be in the description below of this video. Thank you so very much, Sleeper, for sponsoring the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Let's keep this going. So read some more comments here in the chat. Brandon says, must win next week. Mac and Cheese Jones. Here's the thing. If the Cardinals win against a team like the San Francisco 49ers like this, either we're beating them and we let them come back, or it's a close game, I won't be so concerned, right? I'm not mad. I'm happy. We're 2-0. But I wouldn't be so concerned. Biggest reason I'm concerned right now. is that this team, on paper, should be blowing the Saints out of the water. They should be blowing the Panthers out of the water. And here's the thing. We were blowing them out of the water. We were. It was 27-9 at one point. And that dreaded interception happened in the worst time possible. And we know the rest is history from there. But yeah. Randall in the chat says Drew Petzing is the most creative OC in the NFL. Yeah, you must be. Yeah, this must be. Here's the thing with Drew Petzing. And you're probably not going to get me to say anything otherwise. He's got blame. That he does. He's got blame on his shoulders. But everybody in this locker room does. And per Jonathan Gannon, he does too. Everybody does. This game was in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals to win and for all of us to get excited. Right? Learn. That's what we're looking for. Learn. Can we learn? Can we learn from what happened last week? Well, so far from 1 week to the next, we can't. We haven't. Still got an opportunity from week 2 to week 3. But schedule ain't going to get easier. Got the 49ers with Mac Jones. And then Sam Darnold in week 4. They're division games. Regardless of what it is, they're division games. It's going to be tough. So, we'll see. Braden in the chat says way too cautious. I'm assuming you're talking about Petzing. Fair. Lego in the chat says defense outright was trying to lose at the end. I don't think it was the defense. Well, depends on how you look at it, I guess. There was a lot of penalties being thrown on our defense that shouldn't have been penalties, if I'm going to be real. There was a lot of penalties thrown on this defense that should not have been penalties for the Arizona Cardinals defense. Now, special teams, they also put us through the ringer. How do you allow an onside kick like that to be recovered by the Panthers? Well, we're going to have to kind of wait and see. Hopefully they clean it up. All the flags. A lot of those flags I feel like weren't justified, if I'm going to be real. There was a couple that were like, okay, I got you. I got you, right? There was a lot of those flags that weren't justified. The roughing the passer was absolutely god-awful. God-awful. That was the one that I can remember on the top of my head. But the defense did win us this game at the end of the day. They tightened up. I get it. They gave up, 13 unanswered points in the fourth quarter? 13 unanswered points. You don't want to see that. You really don't. But at the other side of the coin, what did the offense do in the fourth quarter? Nothing. Nothing. Zilch. So, I don't know. Can kind of go both ways. John in the chat says the ticky-tacky penalties were abysmal. Yeah, the refs were doing everything they can. It almost kind of felt like they had money on the Panthers to upset the Cardinals. That's what it felt like. I'm going to be real. I don't say that very often. Or at least I haven't used that as an excuse in quite some time. It really did feel like that. Like the refs were just throwing whatever the hell they wanted to throw. And making everything ticky-tacky. Agree with the BS roughing the passer. Agree with the roughing the passer and holding call. Yeah, there was a lot of flags on the Cardinals. There was on the end where it was like, oh, it's a 3rd and long, and then they get all the yardage back. It was a mess, man. It was a mess. Those refs were not smart. Braden in the chat says, on the bright side, Josh Sweat looked quite promising. Yeah, I mean, he started off really hot. That's one thing I will say. He started off hot. Did he kind of dwindle away a little bit during the game? Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately, yeah, he did. But yeah, I mean, sack fumble, recovered by Zaven Collins. You can't ask for a better start. It was 10-0 when you blinked your eyes because the Arizona Cardinals defense was doing what they could, putting this team on their back and trying to give us a chance to win. Right? So, yeah. 10 points the defense helped us get. The interception and the scoop and score. Lego in the chat. What's up, Lego? Cards winning honestly feels more like an upset because the Panthers have owned the card. Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. Like I said, I'm happy. I really am. It doesn't seem like I'm happy, or maybe my voice seems. It's because I was on a 3-hour live play-by-play, and at one point we had 1,400 people watching. 1,400 people watching. Close to 1,200 people watching on YouTube. If you guys weren't on the live play-by-play, don't know what to tell you, but I was screaming. That's why my voice sounds like this. A little hoarse. But yeah, it was fun. Fun game. I just wish that 13-point swing didn't happen in the fourth quarter because they got way too close for comfort. Way too close for comfort. Robert in the chat says the offensive line sucked. The offensive line has not looked very good. It has been some concerns from some Cardinal fans. And I did say myself, they're going to allow Jonah Williams the opportunity to keep this job. But at some point, you might have to pull the trigger and just bring in Kelvin Beachum, if I'm going to be real. I'm not out on Isaiah Adams yet because he's going into his year 2. I'm not out on him yet. Still a young player. But Jonah Williams is a big liability on this offensive line. A big liability. Can we throw Kelvin Beachum? Sure as hell hope so. Are the Cardinals going to do it? Probably not. George did seem good. Yep. George had some really good returns. As long as he can hold the ball, man. As long as he can hold the ball. Martin in the chat says, I believe we'll have a bounce back game on the 49ers. I hope so. I hope so. Hope so. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, man. There's a lot that kind of unfold in this game. I'm happy we won. 110%. So happy we're 2-0. Within the division right now, everybody won. Everybody and their mother won this week. 49ers are 2-0. Cardinals are 2-0. The Rams are 2-0. The Seahawks now are 1-1. We'll see the Seahawks in week 4. Right now, we worry about the 49ers. That's where my mind is. 49ers. The best of the best teams right now are 2-0. And guess what? We're up there. We just have a lot to learn. A lot to learn. Unfortunately. Chan in the chat says, I want Adams to play to develop, but I need Will and Beachum back on that right side. I mean, if he continues to struggle, I'm game 2. I'm game 2. We do have Will Hernandez. He's probably getting ready to kind of come back sooner here rather than later. That will help. That will help. So let me give some, somebody on X and Twitter just responded to my post. So this is what the post originally said. I said, this is the crowd for the Arizona Cardinals in State Farm Stadium in the home opener. Does the Valley not believe in this team just yet? And somebody just responded. Shout out to Billy Tibbles. Yep. He says this. No. Answering the question, does the Valley not believe in this team yet? He says no, because even when they win, it's embarrassing. Petzing, Murray need to go. Too many playmakers to just get chunk plays. Maybe he's saying to not get chunk plays. I think that's what he's saying. But yeah, I mean, here's somebody saying that they don't believe, right? That's fair. That's fair. The Cardinals have a very, very important game. Very important game next week in week 3 versus the 49ers. You got a chance to go 3-0 or 2-1. But the alternative to that is the 49ers are now 3-0. So it's going to be a big game. It's going to be a big game next week. Cardinals versus 49ers. I would not want anything different. I want/need this team to dominate. But if you really look at the NFC West, there could be 2 or 3 teams going to the playoffs out of this division. There really could be. There really could be. Adrian in the chat says Mac Jones legacy game next week. Stop it. Stop. Don't do this to me right now. Don't do it to me. We're going to do a deep dive. We're going to do a deep dive and figure out what could and needs to be done to win next week. It's a big game. Not a must win, but any chance you can get to win, you're going to put yourself within the echelon of potentially winning the NFC West. Elliot says AZ plays better on the road mostly. I mean, we played decent in New Orleans, but I get where you're coming from. They probably don't play good because the fans don't come to the stadium. Who knows? I don't know. Right? Let's force feed Marv. Braden in the chat says Marv is the better receiver. He just doesn't work well in the system. Marv is allergic to yak. I don't know, man. I don't know. I wish somebody gave me an answer. I really do. I wish somebody gave me an answer. And I'm talking about this coaching staff. Because they're the ones that have to answer, right? Everybody can have their opinions. Everybody can have their opinions on what they feel like happened. But what really matters is what the coaching staff has to say. Why haven't we figured it out? Well, that's the big question out here. Why haven't we figured it out? Well, let's see. All right. Let's do this. We're about to hit the hour mark. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to be closing up shop right here. If you guys haven't done this, do me a huge favor. Smack up the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. We're on the road to 18K. I can't do it without you guys. And we easily had over 50 or 60 new subscribers during the live stream and then with the new videos and stuff like that. So if you're enjoying the content, appreciate you guys for being here. Smack the like button and subscribe. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will be closing up shop right here. Another reminder from Robert. Y'all remember to show up on Tuesday for the NFC West Roundtable. Thank you, Robert. If you guys do not know, every Tuesday we go live on the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel, talking all things NFC West. I am the Arizona Cardinals representative over there. So make sure you check them out on Tuesday, 6 p.m. AZ time, so we can go ahead and make sure that we show up on that chat. So far, it's a lot of Seahawks and Rams fans. Let's see if the Cardinals can show up. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you. As always, have a great rest of your night and go Cardinals.